Hello, and welcome to the final session of Hearts of Wulin, the monkey in the Scarlet Court. We're here with three of our four players that we've had throughout the season. Unfortunately, Ludo can't be with us tonight. I would just like to give a quick shout out at the start of the broadcast to Walter, who was supposed to play with us tonight, but as he didn't want to interrupt the story that we have already, he didn't want to bring in a new character in at this late stage. So I'd like to thank him for giving up his place there in terms of letting the story that we have continue without interruption. With that said, we have three players with me tonight, who I'm sure if you've been watching the series, you're all familiar with. We are playing with the Gauntlet safety tools. Predominantly, we're playing with the X card. So if at any point during the night something problematic comes up, any of the players can actually just say, I'd like to X card that, or make an X on video, or write X card in the channel. We'll stop the scene, we'll redress it, find out what the problematic material is, and then redress and move forward. So I have three players that people should be familiar with tonight and their characters. But as we do every session, I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves and give a quick title card introduction for their character. Paul, let's start with you for a change. Can you tell me about your character, please?
Hello, yes, I'm playing the old salty sea dog and Admiral Lee Ho Quinn, armed with his trusty wooden oar. I've recently seen the death of my master, the Emperor, and I now seek revenge against Chen Lin, who I believe has brought about the death of the Emperor.
Thank you very much. And Sabine, can you tell us about your character, please?
Hi, I'm playing Princess Falling Blaze, who was a younger child of the Emperor, and his wife, Queen Immaculate Cloud. His wife was poisoned, and then he was poisoned later, but at that point, somehow Princess Falling Blaze was implicated in the killing, and then she had to run, and then she decided to return, because she couldn't just run and leave her father's death unavenged. So she returned and is now conspiring with her elder sister, the Sundering Princess, to become empresses and marry General Zheng Heng, which was what she wanted to do from the beginning. Not being empress, that wasn't what she wanted. But, well, here she is now, ready for revenge and empressdom, I guess.
Excellent. We've got a nice little triumvirate there. And Alan, can you tell us about your character, please?
I'm playing Mistress Secret's son, who was, well, I'm not quite certain what official position. She was head of the Imperial Secret Police, the Watchful Peacocks. But as she's now, I think, partly hunted fugitive, that may not be what she's doing. She, I think, is demonstrating that she has the long-term health of the Empire at heart. The Emperor was very good to her, and she ended the last scene by having to kill the Emperor because he was being turned into a zombie by the evil Master Bao Dolen. And so I am determined to revenge myself on both Bao Dolen and Chen Lin, the Emperor's wife, who I believe is behind all of this.
Excellent, thank you. So, with that said, at the start of every Heart of Wulin session, characters get an opportunity to rewrite their entanglements. Now, I understand that some of you have done that, so I'm going to go through you in the same order. Paul, can you tell me of any entanglements that you've rewritten?
Yes, I did have an entanglement, my standard one, which was Princess Falling Blaze is secretly the heir to the throne, but I've changed that now to kill Chen Lin to avenge Emperor Zhao, who is now dead.
Excellent. And Sabine, have you rewritten any of your entanglements?
I have rewritten both of my entanglements. I have changed my romantic entanglement that I love General Sheng Hen. I still love him, but now I have to overthrow my stepmother Chen Lin before we can be together. And my standard one is now, I still don't trust Mistress' secret son, but my friend Admiral Li Ho Quinn likes her. I've changed that from, I think Mistress' secret son killed my mother, but I've learned now that Master Bao Dilan was responsible for her death. So
Excellent.
I should kill him too, but that's not an entanglement because we all want to kill him.
Excellent. And Alan, have you rewritten any of your characters' entanglements?
Yeah, I've rewritten them both. Reed Sundering Princess, the soon-to-be part of the Empress-ship, I think, was my lover. But my admiration for my lover, Reed Sundering Princess, is now tempered by her wild temper and the risk I think she presents to both Falling Blaze and the Empire as a whole. And I've also, as indicated before, I've rewritten my other one, which is now that I will revenge myself on Bao Dilan and Chen Lin. So I think the evil stepmother is in a number of crosshairs.
Excellent. Well, we'll start it then. We'll start the scene then. And I think we ended last session with two people fleeing from Master Bao Dilan's pagoda. Coming to the roof balcony, seeing, if not an army, certainly a company being arrayed below you in the yard beneath, and you jumping out into the night. I think we're going to pick it up there, because I think as you flee across the city roof, the rooftops of the city, I think you're being pursued. So, as you run into the night, this was actually morning, wasn't it? Because we had dawn come up as you got to the top. So you're running across in the morning night. I think we've got the mist coming in, so the actual tops of the houses feel like islands in a sea of mist. You can see the occasional actual pole coming up with a lantern on it, with people trying to actually light the top of it, and this is left over from when they were checking it earlier. But as you flee across the rooftops, figures in black emerge from the mist and start pursuing you. Where are you heading?
Well, I think we should. I'm just imagining us leaping from rooftop to rooftop, the Admiral and I, and every time we land, there's a cut, and we have a little bit of conversation, and I'm saying something like, "So, Admiral, to the Imperial Palace, I presume."
And I will reply to Mistress' secret son, yes, to the palace. We must take care of Crystal Hammer and possibly gain entry to the Gang of Eight's compound and kill Chen Lin.
Because now that we have the petals from Master Bao Dilan's study, we may finally be able to give the former queen, who is now the zombie Crystal Hammer, rest.
Yes, and therefore she can join her late husband, the great Emperor Zhao.
But how do you feel? I mean, the Emperor was good to both of us. Are you okay with what we've just done?
Yes, because he was no longer a person, and I've failed to keep him safe. All this time that his health was deteriorating, I never realised that actually he was being poisoned by Bao Dilan. So yes, I realise I've failed in my mission to safeguard the Emperor. So now I must atone for that by bringing Bao Dilan and Chen Lin to heal.
But Admiral, we have to take some satisfaction in the fact that we have saved the Emperor from an even worse fate than death.
Indeed, we have saved him from an eternal life of servitude to Bao Dilan. But I believe this will be my last mission. Yes, clearly I'm no longer up to the task of serving the Imperial court, so I shall avenge myself on Chen Lin and Baudelin, and that will be it for me.
And I think I'd like to see that as me comforting and supporting the Admiral.
Excellent. Yes, I was just about to suggest that. So can you make the roll, please? Which chi are you using here?
That's a good question. I think awareness, wisdom, and flexibility is the obvious one, but it's already marked. So I think actually I'm doing this in quite a calculated manner. I need to make sure that the Admiral is at his best. I don't want him distracted by any concerns about what he's done this evening or this morning. I'm losing track. So I roll 2d6 plus metal, which is +2.
Excellent. And can you tell me what you scored on that, please?
Oh gosh, scraped through with a 7.
Okay, so on comfort and support on a 7.
On a 7.
On a hit, they hear you. So they clear a chi or add a bond.
I shall clear a chi, and I will clear my water chi. And I'll thank Mistress Secret Son for helping to focus myself on the task ahead.
As you talk to each other, you hear a sound ahead of you. There's a ching ching noise as a myriad of small little objects fly up into the air. You can see a little glitter. You can see the sun in the morning gleam and glimmer off something following behind them. And the grappling hooks hit the roofs all around you. And moments later, black-clad assassins land on the rooftops. You are seriously outnumbered here.
I'm going to assume that that they're going to be mooks. So I'm just going to wade into them.
Okay.
Throw them off the roof, cut the grappling hooks, somersault into their faces.
Okay. In which case, then, can you roll fight mooks, please? Is your Julin Chi marked?
No, it's not. Earth is. I've conserved Earth.
Okay.
So +2.
Is there an assist?
That gets me to 9. So an assist would be helpful.
So an assisted, you'd have to burn a bond.
I do indeed have a bond with Mistress Secret Son.
Okay, so in which case then, if you burn that, you can give her +1.
Which gets me, which gets me to 10.
Yes.
So if they are mooks,
they are
on a 10 plus, you do so easily.
They are mooks. They are swept aside as you proceed into them. They go flying from the rooftop. What's your actual fighting style like? Because apart from a brief tussle with the Empress, I don't think we've actually seen you with the Emperor. Sorry, I don't think we've really seen you in combat much so far.
No. I mean, Mistress Secret Son seeks to avoid dirtying her own hands, obviously. No, it's called the Secret Soul style, and I use a beautifully crafted saber, and it's very controlled, very focused, and what you see is very, very precise movements. So and anticipating the trajectory of these assassins as they leap up their silken rope grappling hooks onto the roof. So yes, it's very balletic, very controlled, and very precise.
Okay, you cut through them with an elegant grace. None can stand before you. You are like a scythe before a field of wheat. That they fall at your feet and fall from the rooftops into the misty depths below. You can hear more shouts come up. You can see more and more assassins rising. As you stare around, more and more people come forward. And there is a brief nudge you feel underfoot as a trapdoor in the roof opens beneath you. This isn't a large trapdoor. This is someone literally opening it up to allow access, and lifts one of your feet, and you see another black-clad figure there. You look into those eyes, and you recognize those eyes.
I think I recognize. I think, is this a certain Jinn assassin?
This is a certain Jinn
who
assassin.
was a Jinn assassin archer.
Yes.
And I will stare into their eyes and say, "My lady, the Queen, I'm most grateful to see you. I hope we are on better terms than previously.
Come now, if you want to live."
I'm very happy to just drop through the hole.
And I'll follow.
And she pulls it. She pulls the hatch down on top, and takes you down through a series of trapdoors into the basement of the building that she was in. As she gets to the bottom, she stops, draws an arrow, fires at one of the supporting pillars holding the building up above, and there's a loud shattering noise as it smashes under her blow. There's a creak, there's a shudder, and the entire building collapses above. She stops, turns, and looks at you. "We should leave this place quickly. Come." She slings her bow, and you're in the sewers. But these are grand stone sewers. In fact, these are less sewers and more like canals under the actual, under the city itself. She takes you to a small wooden barge with a pole rested against it, and lights a lamp at the front. And she stands up and removes her mask. It isn't the Queen. It's her daughter.
Oh, Princess! Perfect silk blossom!
"Oh," she says.
Perfect silk blossom. Strange to see you.
"Not so strange. You've known who I've been this entire time."
I had my suspicions. But explain yourself of your involvement with Chen Lin and her Gang of Eight.
"What involvement? I've merely been seeking to help my friend, Fallen Blaze. She asked me to find out who had murdered her mother."
But with our trust of each other, I'm sure you could have informed me of your mission.
She looks at Mistress Secret Son pointedly. "There are spies everywhere."
There are, but me and Mistress Secret Son go back a long way, as does the Mistress and your mother.
"Indeed. That does not free them from suspicion. Especially when you consider what it is that the princess suspected in the first place. That she turns to look at a Mistress Secret Son, that you yourself was responsible for her mother's death."
I am not now, nor have I ever been responsible for her mother's death.
That's still to be proven. But still, I must get you to the palace. There has been auspicious changes in the hierarchy of government.
Does it involve Baudelan?
Yes.
Well, mark our words, he will not be around for much longer.
Why?
Because
does he...
I've sworn myself to revenge the Emperor, and Baudelaire is responsible.
But that makes no sense. The Empress claims that the Empress still lives.
He lives no longer. Now, I just mechanically here, I have +1 forward after my previous encounter with the Djinn Assassin Archer. And I have +1 ongoing with Perfect Silk Blossom for putting her in her place early on. I want to unleash all of that and say, get on the right page, girl.
Okay, so can you roll Hearts and Minds, please?
Yes, I think this is probably. I think it's passion. This one, so I'm gonna roll with +0. So watch yourself, Admiral. Oh, 11. Yes, might sometimes is right.
She looks at you and you can see that she steels herself somewhat. I have said that I would help my... I've said I would help my friend. I will help my friend. I will do what is best for both her people and mine. If my people are to live again...
Only under falling blaze. Only under falling blaze can your mother come back from exile. Only under falling blaze can this empire be ruled in peace. Only under falling blaze can justice be done.
Then we have another problem. For you see, for Princess Falling Blaze herself will not rule alone. Have you not heard from your spies in her palace, or from your lover? She and General Zhang Hen and the princess have declared a triumvirate. They shall each rule as emperor and empress. Sundering Princess will never allow my mother to come back. Will never allow us to build up the walls of our lands to bring our people home. She will never allow this. She was at fault for the war itself. And at this point, Perfect Silk Blossom will step into the Admiral. I was so worried about you. Did you get my warning?
I received no warning.
But I sent a message to you, to your troops.
It must have been intercepted because all my troops are dead now.
How? I wrapped it. I wrote it on a scroll that I wrapped with my own scarf. Your troops should have been aware that people were out for them. How could they be caught unaware? How could they be caught in such a manner?
Either Chen Lin, her skills are greater than yours, or Sundering Princess. She has the martial ability. She could have easily taken my troops, or maybe she's in league with Chen Lin, possibly. But as you were placed in as a close ally of Chen Lin, I thought you would have seen any collaboration between her and Sundering Princess.
And so would I, but I have not seen any of it. They hate each other.
Then I doubt that they were working together.
the mother is younger than the daughter. And then the mother rules where the daughter thinks that her crown should be. They loathe each other.
But with the death of the Emperor now, and hopefully soon to be confirmed, the Queen will no longer be the Queen, and her power will wane.
Can we prove it?
We didn't actually take his head, did we, Mistress Secret Son?
Such desecration would have been inappropriate.
We can't prove it, but our word is our bond. And you're talking to two very loyal people to the Emperor. He is dead.
I do not mourn it. I cannot mourn it. I cannot mourn his passing. His armies have brought nothing but death and destruction to my people. But his daughter is not him. His daughter is pure.
Well, I think I'm going to suffer from some inner conflict here, because she's pulling me in one direction, and clearly my will to revenge is pulling me in another direction.
Okay, so can you please roll in a conflict?
So I think I'm going to need to focus on the matters at hand now, rather than maybe historical. So I'm going to roll Earth +1.
Okay. And please tell me what you roll.
I rolled 3, so that now goes to 4.
Okay. So, can you frame the conflict for me and how you see it in your mind?
I see clearly my love for Princess. Sorry for. Let me get her name. For Perfect Silk Blossom, sort of dragging me in one direction, but then I keep seeing the face of the dead Emperor, and my life serving him. So yeah, I'm pretty conflicted here.
Okay. You've loved her a few years. You've loved her 2 years, but you've served the Emperor for virtually all your life. I think, you've tried to look to the present, but that history, that past, that goes deep down to the core of you. And please mark your chi. But I think her casting the Empire and the Emperor in that light has angered you, because you knew what he was really like. You knew that he was this kindly old man. And this is a game of melodrama, so...
Yeah, I'm going to call her out on this. I'm going to say, she's wrong. Clearly, whatever the Emperor did, it was for the good of the Empire. And she should realise that.
For the good of the Empire? For the good of the Empire? I saw families burnt. My home is nothing but a ruin. My people have been scattered to the 4 winds. My brothers have died. My fathers have died. My ancestors have been forgotten. They do not receive worship. The shrines are not tended. Our fields have been salted. There is nothing left of Jin but me and my mother. You say that he was a kindly old man. How are those the actions of a kindly old man? He was the Emperor. He could have stopped it.
He could have done, but like a great emperor, he actually served his people, and there was conflict between the nations. So, and you are now in the Empire. So look to the present instead of looking to the past. Forge the future based on now and how we can restore Jin.
Are you trying to?
And then I hit her with the pommel of my sword. We haven't got time for this.
Okay. And I think at that point, she just passes out.
Fine.
Because she's not expecting it. She's pent up. She's angry. And you just bang, and she goes out like a light. So
and I look at Admiral Lehock and I say, it wasn't my intention to kill her, but we do not have time for this.
I'll quickly check her pulse and realise that she's not dead.
Yep, she's merely unconscious.
Yeah, I'll say clearly we need to stay on track here, stay on mission. It is to remove Chen Lin. Anything else to do with Jin we can deal with in the future. She would have been a good ally to help us assault Chen Lin, but if she stands in our way, we can deal with her later.
Break the bow and throw the arrows into the water.
Okay. So where are you leaving her? Or are you leaving her?
Yeah, I thought we'd just leave her there.
Okay.
And set off in the boat in the right direction.
Okay. So these sewers lead all over the city. So they go under the Forbidden City itself. So if you wish to, you'd be able to get into the actual palace.
I'm pretty certain the watchful peacocks use them all the time.
Yes, they do. And with that in mind, I think we're going to cut to the palace.
Maybe before, though, maybe we should set out a plan, Mistress Secret Son.
No, let's just go.
Okay.
You got tired of using that move, have you, Alan? Okay.
If
Sorry, you're muted.
If push comes to shove, I'll use it retrospectively at the point of embarking on something.
Okay. So you get onto the boat and you move down through the long tunnels. And as you go further and further away, the light gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer as the camera pans back. And then it goes to a dark screen. And then the screen transition changes. The doors are thrown open. And we have the camera actually following the Sundering Princess as she walks out into a courtyard full of her troops. She's in resplendent armor. There are peacock feathers coming from her helmet. She is in elaborate lacquered steel mail. Her sword is at her side. Her horses are reined for war. And she stops and turns to her sister. I've sent General Zheng Hen on ahead. He will prepare the way and locate the enemy. But I have to leave. The nation
have to leave now.
Shouldn't
we maybe secure the throne before you run off into the sunset?
I am not running off into the sunset. If I do not take my forces north now, there will be no throne to save.
Well, fine.
You cannot be such an insolent. She steps over to you, and you can see that she's holding the anger back. You cannot be so insolent all the time. This is war. You have to choose which battles you fight. I will fight the barbarians that come from the north, the horse riders. You must fight a mother.
Well, then I will. If you come home to my corpse, then I know that my ghost will haunt you until the end of days. And I step back and I smile at her and I wave at the troops like a good little princess, but I'm pissed.
She goes to get on her horse. And you can see that she's pissed at this show of disrespect. Can you roll Hearts and Minds, please?
Sure, I can roll all kinds of things. What am I rolling with? I am rolling with... I think with water in this case, because... Oh no. I did roll a 6, and I have 0 of water, which is a pity.
Okay.
I don't have any bonds with her. I have a bond with Sang Heng that I could burn now, and I will.
Okay. So
What?
that knocks it up to a 7. So
Yes.
let's have a look at the options on a 7 on Hearts and Minds. They bow to your words. On a 7+, they can instead choose to. Okay. There's a few different options on there.
Yeah, I don't really. I thought, oh, okay. I wanted her to stay and help me getting rid of Chen Lin. Oh, then I don't burn my bond. Let her go. That's fine. That's fine. She can go and have her little adventures with the barbarians.
Okay. She gets up on her horse. The troops pick up their weapons. The heralds at the front of the formation pick up their instruments. A horn sounds out, and the gates open, and she marches through, and her troops march down the Imperial Boulevard out of the city. You stand there as you see her marching through, and this huge column of troops moves with her. And as they start to disappear up the road, the doors to her encampment slam shut, and there is an ominous boom.
Wow, lovely. So I've lost any allies I might have had. I think somebody is still after me for poisoning the Emperor, so I won't be standing off on the courtyard for a long time. I think I will be moving off, and I will try to gather around me some people that I know and can trust, because I have the support of my family, and I guess my family doesn't just consist of my father and my older sister, but there were other siblings, right?
That's right.
I think I would need to gather them now, just to find out what I know now, that Bao Lilan has poisoned my father. But I'm not too sure who I should blame for the broken sword, because I seem to remember that Sundering Princess said something about I wouldn't do it like that.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that, Sabine. The line broke up.
Oh, sorry. Am I back? Can you hear me?
Yes, you're back. Sorry, it just stuttered momentarily.
Okay. I seem to remember that Sundering Princess said that she wasn't responsible for the broken blade, that she didn't know that it would break, because that was too courtly for her. I don't know if that's my memory or if I'm just confused.
Didn't she say that she didn't expect you to test it or use it?
Oh, okay, that's possible, yeah.
That's my recollection.
Yes,
and I'm not simply trying to throw suspicion away from.
No, it's okay. I just seem to remember that there was some reason for me to be suspicious of Perfect Silk Blossom, and I can't remember why that was.
I think it because were you there when the actual bodies of the Marines was found?
No, I wasn't there, but it was a point of discussion.
Okay.
But she admitted, my sister admitted that was her who had killed them.
Yes. But you were there when yes, because the Admiral came across the bodies and found a scarf from Perfect Silk Blossom with the butterflies on.
Right, that was it. But that's why we were suspicious of her. But Sundering Princess had admitted, so okay. Cool. Thank you. I was just wondering what my options are here. Okay. So
although Sundering Princess has marched north, she hasn't taken all of her generals with you. with them. There's still several high-ranking military military officers from the Red Reeds that man this fortress.
At this point, I think Falling Blaze just wants to recover her equilibrium for a bit, because she's been running and hiding and fighting and trying to mourn her father, and now she just wants to go to some of her siblings and tell them that it wasn't her, and just wants to grieve her father for a moment before deciding on a course of action.
Okay. So would you like to name a sibling?
I would love to name a sibling, but what I'm really looking here is for some time to recover one of my marked cheese, because I remember that I can do that with meditation and stuff like that.
Okay. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say you've had a good night's sleep, so you can recover one of your cheese.
Cool. Okay.
So
I'd rather have some bit of time beneath a tree or something, just praying and remembering my father.
I think that the actual this fortress actually has a section put aside for royal visitors, and it's this wonderful courtyard filled with peach trees. It has a bubbling lake beside it, and fed from an underground water source, and the air is full of sweetness and blossoms, and this doesn't seem like a place of battle and war and planning and violence. This is a place of serenity within the heart of a fortress.
That's good. That's exactly what Falling Blaze was looking for, a place to remember her father and to recover a bit of who she is, because now she's totally suspicious of her sister and everyone, actually, because who knows where the Admiral is, and she just needs to kind of ground herself.
Okay.
Yeah. And my brother, I think, is called Steel Wing. It's not called anything with a blossom.
Okay, Steel Wing. How old is he, would you say?
I think he's maybe, he's a younger brother, so maybe 15 or something like that.
Okay. Has he only recently joined the military then?
I think he's waiting to join. Maybe he's a bit younger. When do you join the military?
Well, when you're in the royal family, whenever you say you want to, effectively, or whenever the Emperor lets you.
Okay, so I guess he's just a bit too young to join the military.
Okay. Yes, I think he's been given the position of the leader of the Imperial military band.
Oh, very nice.
So he's actually sitting in the garden playing his erhu. So he's got a two-stringed Chinese fiddle, and its melody rings out over the area. It's so it's long haunting tones, and it's almost like some of the notes he plays are almost like a long sigh. And as he plays, all the stress, all the thoughts, all the conflicting emotions in your head drain away. You find your center. You find that perfect moment. And then comes the dissonant chord that snaps you back into the present.
What's the matter with him? Has he seen me?
You turn to look at him, and you can see him on the ground, cowering from a dark shadow that stands above him. And you can see all around you dark-clad figures. And a movement catches your eye. A single feather from a peacock, its tail feather, falls down and lands on the ground in front of you.
I knew I shouldn't have trusted her.
You look up,
Yeah. I'm starting to move.
Okay.
I'm starting to move towards my brother, though,
Okay.
to
So
see
the
if he's alive or if I can.
oh no, he is very alive. The figure over him lifts up, draws a saber, lifts it, and is getting ready to swing.
Yeah, he can. I know. I will jump over to him and I will run towards that person, or I will jump at him. Like, maybe there's this little arc of a bridge, and I will run over the bridge, and then I will push myself into the air and fly at him with my sword drawn.
Okay, he sees you coming. Your sword outstretched. The figure drops his saber, and his sword. He braces his sword and catches the blow, but the blow is so powerful it knocks him back, and he's knocked back onto the ornamental lake, full of lily pads, and he lands on one of them, and the force of the blow still carries him further. It's almost as if he's surfing the lily pad backwards until it comes to a rest, and he's standing there on the lake.
Yeah, right. Leave my brother alone. Okay, and then I will try to get. Is my brother unconscious, or can I get him?
No. He's conscious. He's cowering, but he stands up to his feet, and there's a twang noise. As you can see that he's undone the nut at the top of his arrow, and he's pulled the hidden blade that's held within it.
Okay, and how many assassins do we have here? Do we have a chance of defeating them?
You have around about 20 of them. Only one of them isn't a mook.
Oh, okay.
Only one of them isn't a mook.
Nice, but I could defeat the non-mook, right? He would be on my scale.
The mook. You could defeat the non-mook by using the fight mook move.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have to choose either between actually fighting the dueling the lead assassin or fighting the mooks. You don't think your brother can actually stand up to the mooks themselves?
You probably can't stand up to the leader. Can I? Oh wait, don't I have a move or something like that? Let me look. Yes. Okay, I have the Legend of the Mountain. When you defend someone or something from an immediate threat roll. Okay, I will try to use that one.
Okay. It's almost as if I engineered that situation entirely for you to use that move.
Oh no. Good thing I thought about it. And I think I will use to do that, I will use, no, I won't use fire. I will use wood, because right now, patience, I will have to draw them in to defeat them and to defend my brother.
Okay, so can you please roll?
Yeah, I've got an 11.
Okay. Oh, on a hit, you keep them safe and choose one. So you take control of something, you change the location of the conflict, or you gain a bond with the person you protected.
I want to change the location of the conflict to something less open.
Okay.
So he can run and I can just hold somewhere inside in a hallway.
Okay. I think there's actually a training maze that the warriors use for actually practicing close quarters fighting. Yeah, so it's all sorts of different nooks and crannies, and it's there to train troops in house to house and city fighting.
That is advantageous.
In fact, I think there's actually a whole street done out like that, but it's a fake street that basically is just the front of the houses, very much Hollywood style.
That's amazing. I will try to get my brother into a safe position and then confront the leader of the assassins.
Okay, so you manage to fight into the streets itself. The assassins come at you. Your brother puts up a pretty good fight for someone his age. You see him get a few hits in on the assassins. You see him taking down one or two, and you can see that he has a glint of something in his eye when he does so.
It's nice. Very good.
You can almost see that he's enjoying this.
Okay. So he likes fighting. That's nice, but he should stay safe.
Okay.
And not take on more than he can handle.
So how do you actually isolate the lead assassin?
I mean, I will go on killing mooks until the lead assassin comes up to me.
Okay. So as you take down the mook assassins, there always seem to be more coming out of the woodwork until eventually you're face to face with this assassin. But unlike wearing full black, you can see that their arms are actually exposed and there are tattoos on them. You can see a tattoo of a snake on one side, a tattoo of a leaping tiger on the other. And this assassin doesn't carry any weapons. They make claws with their hands and they come towards you.
Do these tattoos mean anything to me?
The only real people you know who have tattoos like that are the monks of the Eastern temples.
I will ask him, while keeping my weapons at the ready, I will ask him, what do you want of me?
I have come on a mission from my Empress. I have only come for one thing. I have come for your subservience to the crown. She has an order for you.
And she couldn't send me a scroll.
This is so much better. Her order is die! And he leaps at you, and as he comes in, you step back and he claws the floor, and you see his hands grab the stone. And when he squeezes them, this stone under you actually shatters.
Ooh, nice.
So he has, although he's not armed with weapons, you can tell he's a potent fighter.
Okay, so, is he on my scale?
He's definitely on your scale.
Cool.
So before we go into this, do you want to do any more narrative side of this, or do you just want to roll?
Oh, when he grabs the stone, Falling Blaze jumps away in a quick and elegant motion. She has her swords in her hands, both of them, the broken one and her normal, lovely sword. And as he goes at the floor, she will jump back and then she will slash out with her swords, making these zirring noises. And when he comes back up, she will go at him, but not like rush at him, but within a series of jumps and slashes. She will run around him because he is strong, but maybe she's a bit quicker. Yeah, at least that's what the flight of the Ember Birds does. She jumps around a lot and she is very fast.
Okay, you both have leaping styles, so the battle is very fluid. It's moving from one location to another location to another location. It gradually, I think, it actually gets up to the top of the buildings itself. And the thing about this street is they actually have a flagpole going out with the army flag on it. And I think the actual fight ends up on the flagpole itself.
Nice.
So,
and I am at the top of the flag, at the far part, where I'm standing on one foot and with the swords raised. So, and he's still on the roof.
Yep, and I think you both leap at the same time.
Yes.
And as we go through the air, I think time slows for that moment. And can you roll the dice, please?
Yes. Please, dice, be nice.
Sorry, Alan, did you want to do something?
I have a 9. What does that mean?
9 on a duel.
Yeah, cool.
On a 7 to 9, choose one. You win at a cost. Narrate how you lose and mark XP, or deadlock with your opponent. You may reveal or learn something about them.
I think I want to win at a cost, and I think I want to be injured by them.
Okay. So as they leap, you can see their hands go from this to this.
Oh wait, sorry, I was looking at the character sheet.
Okay.
Can you make the hand motion again?
Yes, sorry. It goes from claws to basically fingers, 2 fingers pointing, and as you leap in, rather than striking and squeezing, the fingers zip out and strike your chakras.
Ouch!
You strike him. He goes down. He lets out a cry, but you feel a pain. You feel a pain as if fire is coursing through your blood. Your left arm goes numb. You drop the sword you hold in it. He's basically struck your chakra in your arm, and you can't use your arm at the moment anymore until it's healed. That's only a narrative effect. It has no, apart from the injured state, it has no other effect on gameplay.
But it means that I take the wounded condition, right?
That's right. Yes.
Okay, cool. So I will gather up my broken sword with the other hand and put it in my belt.
Okay. So you stop. You look down at him. You're panting. You're out of breath, and you hear a scream. You look up. You see your brother. You see that he is cornered. There are 4 of them there, and they're advancing on him with weapons drawn. They raise their sword. Is there anyone else who has the ability to interact here to actually save this boy?
I could indeed suddenly appear and slap these 4 assailants with my trusty oar.
Indeed, and if you want to, you can bring Mistress Secret Son along with you.
Yeah, I think I'll, because this garden, a river flows into the garden. So, yes, just as this fight is going on, our trusty small boat emerges from the gloom of the tunnel, and we both leap forwards from the boat to strike these assassins.
Okay, can you roll fight mook, please?
Okay, yes. So with awesome flexibility, I leap forwards from.
Sorry, with awesome flexibility.
Indeed, awesome.
I love it.
So here we go. Let's chop some mooks. Doesn't get much better than rolling double 6 and then +2.
And they are down in a moment. The final one's blade. You take out one, take out the other, take out the third. The final one, his blade is coming down. It's coming towards the child, and your oar gets in the way just as it strikes. The blade goes into the oar, and as you lift it and twist, the blade snaps, and the assassin is left looking dumbstruck at his broken sword as you turn around and pelt him. The child, the 15-year-old, is shaken. He looks to his small hidden blade in his hand. He looks up to you. You can see there are tears in his eyes.
Come, my son. You are the son of the Emperor, and therefore a friend of mine, and I'm duty bound to defend you.
And he just goes over and he hugs you because he's a member of the royal family. He recognizes you.
I shall put my arm around him and comfort him, and tell him that times have changed and he may no longer be safe, and therefore he should stay close and we should get him to safety.
But sister, he turns and points to where Princess Falling Blaze is standing, propping herself up against the wall.
Yeah, I've jumped down to rescue him, but of course the Admiral was a bit faster. And I'm rather relieved to see him.
Princess?
Admiral.
I hope that's only a flesh wound?
I don't know. I can't really move my arm. It feels floppy.
It sounds like the fighting skills of assassins. Hopefully, Mistress Falling Sun may know something about what is afflicting you.
Oh, her again.
She can be trusted. She helped me uncover the true perpetrators to your father's illness and the people that have cast dispersion upon you, that you brought about his downfall, which is clearly not true.
Well, I have learned that it was Master Baudelan. Are we in agreement about this?
We are, yes. and we believe Master Baudlan also, in conjunction with Chen Lin, intercepted my company Marines that were moving up to the city to give protection.
No, that was my sister, the Reed Sundering Princess.
It was Reed Sundering Princess.
Yes, she wanted to. She thought that my father wanted me to be his heir, and she wanted to make sure there would be no me to be his heir.
So what is the situation now then? Where is she?
She's going to war, and we have decided to be both empress. She will be the empress of war, and I will be the empress of the court. Because she's not good with the court, and I have never fought a war, so that seemed fair. And we will both marry General Sanghan so we have a tie-breaking vote. At least that's the plan.
You are happy sharing the general with her?
Well, I am happier sharing the general with her than marrying Master Baudlan, certainly.
Well, myself and Secret
I'm a bit
Son.
surprised that she left me here alone and rushed off. I'm pretty sure she meant for me to die and then come back and finish Chen Lin.
I will agree with you. Chen Lin is definitely our current target to remove. She is indeed the cause of her and Baudlan, the Emperor's death. But I believe that Reed Sundering Princess will bring nothing but chaos to this empire. She has already caused so much problems, and marching north will only reopen old wounds, which I believe me and Mistress Secret Sons were just beginning to heal. So I don't believe that this menage a trois you've arranged with her and the general, I can't see how that can end in anything good. I beseech you to abandon that plan and take the general for your own.
Well, I have promised her. I cannot go back on the promise until I have concrete proof that she means ill intent. But let us first take care of Chen Lin. She calls herself the Empress now. And she sent out these assassins after me. And apparently after my brother.
Well, that's clearly not true. So we should secure your brother in a safe spot. And then we should get after Baudlan, Crystal Hammer, and Chen Lin.
Oh, Crystal Hammer. Yeah, we have to take care of her. Where is Mistress Secret Son anyway? She's probably lurking somewhere in the shadows, right?
At which point, Mr. Secret Son will step out of the shadow of a tree. I felt it appropriate not to interrupt. But my princess, I strongly advise you to follow the Admiral's advice.
Yes, because that would make me do the absolute contrary of what you say. No, I won't do what you intend. I will do what you say.
Don't listen to me, princess. Listen to the Admiral.
I wouldn't listen to you anyway. I mean, you were supposed to be the spy mistress, and you didn't know about the barbarians from the north, or if they are true, or anything, apparently.
And I will pay for my weakness, lady.
We shall see.
But you really should follow his advice.
I am planning to.
These are troubled times.
At least I'm planning to follow his advice as long as it pertains to Chen Lin and Baudlan. My sister is a more complicated matter. I thought you liked her.
I have seen a side of your sister in recent days that is of great concern to me. And like the Admiral, I fear that this triple throne will be anything but stable.
I fear that.
But as I say, I do not expect you to trust me. listen to the Admiral.
I will say that clearly you can't take a move against Sundering Princess, but she rides north to the previous lands of the Jinn.
Weren't they to the east?
West.
West. Weren't they to the west?
Northwest?
Northwest will do.
Well, I have no idea. She told me, and she told Cheng Hen, that they were riding north because there were barbarians invading our country.
Are the barbarians not previous allies of the Jinn?
Well, maybe the Jinn were traitors, so maybe they had allied with the barbarians, I guess. I am not entirely sure about that.
Very well. Let's deal with the imminent problem then.
Yeah.
And I will leave you to ponder my advice. But please listen to Mistress Secret Sun. In this matter, she does know what she's talking about.
Wait, I should listen to her, and she says to trust you. Well,
Indeed.
I will listen to you, Admiral, at least for now. What do you propose we do about Chen Lin and about Alun? Because we are and Crystal Hammer, because we are the three of us, and maybe I can rustle up some soldiers to help us, but we don't have an overwhelming advantage of numbers. As far as I can see, I'm only a young girl, but seems to me we're overmatched.
But you do have the element of the ability to lure Baudolin. If memory serves right, he is slightly infatuated by you.
He is not infatuated by me. He was infatuated by my position as the Emperor's daughter. Oh, I have one question for you, Mistress Secret Sun. Where did the will of my father get to? Who got it? Who got it?
I did indeed send agents to collect it as soon as I learned of it, but they arrived after the Admiral. My assumption is that your stepmother has it, and one of the things we need to do with speed is to obtain it, because whatever happens to Chen Lin and Baudolin, without that will, you could be perceived as a usurper. It will add legitimacy to your rule.
Surprisingly, I'm in agreement with you.
I think Secret Sun just steps back.
Can you roll me the conflict?
Which one of us?
Everyone roll in the conflict.
Very nice.
No, but joking aside, as you're speaking, the bells of the castle, the bells of the palace start to ring out.
That is the signal for a coronation, I believe.
Including the coronation bell. Thank you for getting there before me.
Do we roll for in a conflict now, or don't we? I'm confused.
No, I was joking about that.
Oh, okay, cool.
Sorry, I was...
Because I am actually conflicted, and I have an entanglement that says I still don't trust Mistress Secret Sun, but Admiral Leho Quinn likes her, so I'm a bit conflicted about her role and all of that.
So yes, if you want to roll that.
Yeah, I think it's appropriate because, well... Whoa! I've got to get an XP, I guess. And I totally failed.
Okay.
The conflict. What do I have to do now? I don't want to run and no?
So
basic moves.
It's long been rumored that Mistress Secret Sun is the lover of the Sundering Princess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why does she want you to get the will? Why is she after it herself?
Right.
She obviously wants to destroy it.
Yeah, I'm sure she does. And she hasn't offered to do anything about my wound. I don't trust her. I don't know.
And how does Secret Sun feel that her lover has now married the general?
Well, I did alter that entanglement to say that my admiration for my lover, Reed Sundering Princess, is tempered by her wild temper and the risk to falling blaze in the Empire. So I don't think I'm quite as hot to trot for Reed Sundering Princess as I was.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
Oh, yep, very much so. So the bells ring out.
So shall I roll? Shall I roll anyway?
I don't think you need a roll for that, Alan.
Okay.
Because you're quite right. You've adjusted your entanglement there, and you're not as infatuated. But Falling Blaze doesn't know that. She only has the rumors to go on, the rumors around court. So you're obviously serving a Reed Sundering Princess's agenda here to some end, at least in her mind.
Yeah, she probably wants me to break up the whole deal because it doesn't serve her interests. Huh.
Because logically, Secret Sun would then be the power behind the single throne of the Empress Reed Sundering. Yes. Oh.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
There is yes, and nothing I do or say is going to change that.
I'm sorry.
This is Hearts of Wulin. That's melodrama for you. It's all entirely one way until it's all of a sudden it isn't.
Ladies, let's stay on track here. Chen Lin is the enemy.
Indeed.
Yes, we should.
So will you follow the Admiral's advice in these troubled times?
I will go with you and kill Chen Lin, Mr. Secret Sun. I have said so before. Please don't stop questioning me.
Yes, I just wish to cast you as the paladin in this.
It is not your prerogative to cast me as anything.
No, but he's trying to encourage you to use paladin in troubled times.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Way
Yeah, I will.
too subtle.
Way too subtle. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going to listen to the Admiral how we should proceed. Or ask him, so, well, Admiral, what do you think we should do?
I'm more of a direct action man, so I think you should listen to me, but I'm going to defer to the spy master extraordinaire, who I'm sure can come up with a rapturous plan for us to follow.
And I'll have to roll for that move.
That's right, yes.
I am going to roll with... Patience, growth, and curiosity, I guess. Let's see how that goes. No, I've got a 7. Wait, I've got a 7.
Yes, so you can gain +1 forward if you do what they say.
Cool.
Which will be used on the first roll that you make in furtherance of that plan. Cool. So yes, you hear the actual sound of the bells taken up by the bells in the city, and even though it's daytime, you can see lanterns and beacons being lit around the city itself. What are people doing?
Well, I quite like this very attractive little stream to run through the orchard and in through another arch at the other side of the fort, and then on to the palace.
Oh, excellent.
So we can all get in the punt and we can just, make our way on.
Excellent.
Can we take a break before we get into
the
palace
if people
proper?
if people want to have a bio break, by all means. Yeah. So we'll come back at past.
Great.
And back.
I'm still chewing. I've stopped now. I'm hungry.
What time is it with you, Sabine, now?
It's 10:30. So I'm GMT +1.
I didn't realize.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's so totally okay. I mean, somebody stole an hour from me last night, but well, we expected that. And I know that this is going to run till midnight or after. I'm a night bird anyway.
So you're on BST +1, are you?
I think I'm on your time +1, on British time +1.
Yeah, BST.
Yeah,
It was
we've all
GMT
moved,
yesterday.
I think.
We've moved, so you've moved to summertime as well as the same as us.
Oh, okay. So I'm GMT +2 now. Lovely.
Yes.
More confusion. Cool.
Luckily, I think soon you don't get daylight saving time, do you? EU law was passed recently.
No, that's not until 2020, I think.
Yeah, they're not really sure if they want to go to summertime or winter time, and people are still arguing about that, and I hope they will go on arguing for a few years now.
Okay. So we're back. Is everyone ready to start the game again? Is everyone taking care of the, I was going to say bodily functions, but that's probably best not talked about on camera. Okay. So you're in this fortress. You're surrounded by the bodies of dead assassins. You have a crying child clamped to your leg. Well, a crying teenager clamped around you, Paul. All around you, the bells of the city are ringing out. They're announcing a coronation. What are people doing?
Well, what's the plan?
I have to say, I'd forgotten about the prince.
Could we
I just
use
want
him?
to get in the boat and head on. Well, how could we use him?
Distraction, maybe?
Please don't use him. He's a person, and he's scared. Can we just hide him somewhere? Stash him? Oh, wait, I still have a move that says devoted child. I'm loyal to my family and they support me. Once per session, you may ask a favor, call in a favor. So I'm going to call in a favor with some servant or something who will take care of my brother.
Wouldn't that maybe be handy to get you into the palace, into the coronation?
Might be, but I need to take care of my brother because I don't want him to to stumble around while we are fighting assassins and poisoners and things like that.
Fair one.
Okay. So you go to the dove's loft, take down one of the doves, write out a small note and put it in and throw the dove into the sky. It flies away across the city. 15 to 20 minutes later, the gates of the actual fortress open, and in march a troop of the Imperial Household Guard. At their head, you recognize your cousin. Your cousin, Sun Tiger.
Oh, him. He's quite cool.
He very much stands out as a shining paladin in troubled times. His troops are bedecked in golden armor, and they very much move at his command. He comes towards you. Cousin. I feared the worst.
No.
Have they harmed you?
No, not yet. Well, they have, but that's
your arm.
Yes, well, I have things to do here, but my siblings might not be safe. We have been attacked by assassins, and look, Steel Wing is still scared because of that. So please, can you take care of him and the others of my siblings?
I will do. I swear I will keep him safe.
Thank you.
Come here, child. And he picks him up. He picks him up. If you need my sword, you know where I am.
Yes, Sun Tiger, I need you to protect my siblings.
I will gather the other children of the Imperial family.
Thank you. That will not be forgotten.
And he salutes you, my Empress.
And I salute back. And when he's gone, I will turn to the Admiral. He's gone, right? He's gone far away now. And I will turn to the, oh God, I had such a crush on him when I was a kid, when I was younger. He's so cool.
You're married now, though, or will be.
I don't have a crush on him anymore, but he, yes, that's childish. I'm going to be an empress.
The word you're looking for is concubine.
Well, I don't know who said that, but no. Oh God. Let's go and become empress or bed, because I think that at that point that's the options left.
Okay, so you get into the boat and head into the tunnel that leads towards the palace itself. This tunnel narrows rather than the larger river that was there before. It becomes a stream, and it becomes very tight without very much room either side. You eventually come to a darkened cavern as the stream opens up into a lagoon, and you can see that there are actually pontoons laid out and platforms going up the wall linked by ladders that take you up into the castle itself. As you pull into the actual lagoon, you hear and there's a spark of light as a torch gets lit at the top of one of these platforms, and you can see a dark-clad member of the Watchful Peacocks there, who stands watching.
I think it might be Leylan, who technically is still on a mission to keep an eye on the Admiral. I've no holes left with Leylan.
No, I know.
She's still out there somewhere.
Yes. And as you grow closer, she removes her mask, and it is indeed Leylan.
Leylan, I need you to go now. Find those of the peacocks that you still trust, and prepare for the stratagem of the strutting peacock.
You've been declared a traitor. Why should I trust you?
Because, Leylan, we live in troubled times, and I am the person you know. I am the person who brought you into the Watchful Peacocks. I am the person who promoted you in the Watchful Peacocks. I am the one who has kept you safe all these years. Now is the time for you to repay me.
Her hand taps, her fingers tap the hilt of her blade. And can you roll Hearts and Minds, please?
Mm-hmm. I will use... I think this is control, calculation, and reflection. So I'll roll with metal. 8, 9, 10.
Okay, so you've got a hit. Her hand comes off her. Her hand comes off her blade, off the hilt of her blade. Very well. We serve but for the good of the nation.
Go quickly. Strutting peacock.
She unbuckles the belt that holds her sword and drops it down. She removes the black outer garments that she wears. She still has a full clothing on underneath, but she throws them to you. I will go now.
And I will be able to dress myself in the black-clad duty robes of the Watchful Peacocks.
Yes. And she disappears into the darkness. Would you like to roll your mastermind move?
I thought you might want to make me sweat until I used it.
Okay, if you want to do that, I have no problem doing that.
I think that's a much cooler way to do it. So I have a clear plan that will work like clockwork. And when I say, and so the strutting peacock, roll dice, collapse, awful disaster. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So you make your way through the through the palace. Palace is actually really quite quiet. At least the residential parts are. The first Sorry, Alan.
I was just going to say that in the fiction so far, we've had Secret Son quite often looking into rooms from behind the eyes of statues and such things, or the paintings on the wall. Are there, in fact, a set of secret passages running like a warren through the palace?
This is an Imperial palace. Of course, there's secret passages everywhere.
So I'm inclined to use those to get us to where we're going.
Okay. So where are you going?
Well, I'm loath to offer this advice because I know that as soon as I do, Falling Blaze will want to do exactly the opposite. But I think I probably take the habit and say that I think that we need to head to the hall, the ceremonial hall where the coronation will take place, because there will be everyone that we need to oppose. That would be the advice I would offer the princess.
Should we get the will first?
Where is the will? That's the problem we have, isn't it? I assume. Oh, I tell you what. Yes, could it be in Chen Lin's apartments? That would be a good place to.
It probably is. Yes.
Then shall we scurry through the secret passages to Chen Lin's apartments?
Yes. And I think you come out to them, and the apartments are majestic. They are. Beforehand, they were opulent, but now they've just been taken that next level beyond. There is gold filigree everywhere. There is jewels on stands. There is elaborate clothing. It's almost as if the treasury has been opened to the Empress for the first time, and she's exerting her power. As you go through the apartments, you come to a bedchamber. And as you open the door, you almost fall over something as you walk through. You stumble, and there is a body on the floor.
Is it a body we recognize?
It is a body you recognize. Perfect Silk Blossom lies dead on the floor.
Oh, that's a shame.
Her makeup is perfect. Her hair is elaborately dressed, but she lies cold, the blood having actually flown from her throat where it has been cut.
I'll drop to the ground and put her head in my lap. Clearly, I'm going to be quite distraught seeing the death of my love, especially as she'd cleared herself in any implications of being involved with Chen Lin. And I will let out a Khan type no, and declare revenge will be dealt in a very slow and painful manner against Chen Lin. Yeah, I think definitely Chen Lin, Crystal Hammer, and Baudelaire will pay now for two deaths: the deaths of my lover and the death of the Emperor.
Excellent. So you're in the actual study. You're in the bedchamber itself. Where are you looking for the actual will?
I think I'm a bit distraught as well. Perfect Silk Blossom was my friend after all, and I will drop next to her. I'll let the Admiral, get her on his lap, but I will try to hold the other hand with my hand, the only one that works, and say quietly, "Goodbye, my friend. You shouldn't have been mixed up in this." I mean, I don't know if she was from the beginning.
And the camera pans up to Secret Sun searching the room.
Okay, can you roll study, please?
I can. With what, though?
That is the question.
I think this is about focus. This is about. I stand in the middle of the room, and we see her turn slowly. Where would I hide something that was this important? And we see her eyes flick around the room to a picture, a cabinet, a table, a vase, and then she rolls with earth. A 10.
Okay, so I believe you get to hold 2.
Get two to hold. Ask a question about the situation or places. Where would, knowing all I do of Chen Lin, where would she hide something really important?
There is a portrait of her, a giant portrait of her hanging on the wall.
And it is with immense pleasure that I carve it out of its frame.
And there behind it, you find the will. I believe you have another hold. You can
I do. I think I will reveal a. Let me think. I think I need to know Chen Lin's scale.
Okay. Chen Lin's scale is equal to the player characters.
Yes, quite what we'd have done with the knowledge that he was higher than us at this stage in play, I don't quite know, but that's good.
She is not the most accomplished fighter.
Okay. And when do you know what I think I want to do is when I found it, assuming the other two have recovered their composure, as when Falling Blaze turns towards me, I will get down on both knees, bow to her, and hold up the will.
Well, okay, she will with a heavy heart because okay, but you found it and this is the proper way to act. And she's been taught to respect her elders. So she will come up to you and get the will, and then she will bid you to rise, and then she will look at the will.
You open the will, and this does indeed declare you to be the heir designate.
Damn.
It points out the many flaws and mistakes of Sundering Princess that brought the nation into war with its neighbor. It points out her bloodthirstiness, how she lacks even the basics of honor.
That's harsh.
It points out that the Emperor had secretly ordered her to stop the campaign before the castle was sacked, but those orders were never delivered on time. But the Emperor suspects she merely delayed acknowledging receipt of them until after the final battle.
Well, that is my father's will.
It also strips Sundering Princess of all her command duties and all of her rights as a princess of the crown, and exiles her to the now abandoned kingdom of Jin.
She won't like that. Her soldiers won't like that, which is worse. But we might have a chance at court now. Thank you for finding this, Mistress Secret Sun.
I say nothing, because nothing I can say makes any difference. I will simply act appropriately.
Okay.
So what are people doing?
Oh, I will go over to the Admiral and say, Admiral Leo Quinn, This is the time, not for grief, but for action. Will you come with us to try and fulfill my father's will?
I will.
Sorry, there was one other thing in the will.
Oh.
There was a pardon for Admiral Lee Ho Quinn for his previous crimes against the nation. Sorry, I totally forgot about that.
That's okay. Did you read out the will, Sabine?
Yeah, I think I did.
So yeah, I will say, yeah, I will accompany you, but the death of my love here can be directly, therefore, traced to read Sundering Princess. If she had not have stormed that castle, this woman would still be alive now.
How so? She must have been
Because
very
this
young.
woman here is the daughter of the Queen.
This is a Jin princess.
This is the Jin Princess that now lies dead. The last of a line.
I saved her and her mother on your father's orders.
I
And
was
I can
taught.
collaborate that because I was there.
I was taught that the Jin rose in unlawful and selfish rebellion. Why would my father order them spared?
Your father was a wise man. The Jin were defeated. There was nothing to be gained by the destruction of the entire people. He sought to, as his will declares, to avoid that, and yet your sister ignored him. I have always been loyal to your father and the crown. I did not ignore the order I received.
That is that. Well, as much as it pains me, the perfect silk blossom lies dead. We cannot stay here and talk about the Jin, because as she lies dead, so lies their history dead. But we have to look to the future now.
True, and I shall seek my revenge against the Gang of Eight and Bodolin. But after that, I will also seek my revenge against Reed Sundering Princess.
Very well.
The sound of a gong rings out through the castle. A mighty giant edifice struck with powerful hands. There's another gong. It fills the air with a fullness of noise, but one that brings on a foreboding. For after the noise there is silence and nothing. It does not linger. It is there and is gone, yet still stays in your ear. It comes from the main throne room, in the tower above it.
Let's go there.
It has begun. Come.
So you make your way there.
Wait! I wanted to say, and I muted myself. I wanted to say it is ending, and then we can go.
The end of the beginning, lady.
Hopefully.
As you make your way to the throne room and you go through the hidden passages, and as you get there you come out on a hidden balcony that overlooks the actual throne room itself. You look down from the rafters and you can see there on the dais at the top the new Empress, her bodyguard in foreboding heavy armor next to her, and to her right hand, her new Prime Minister. One of the priests of the Eastern Temples, holds there the Imperial crown. He lifts it up and goes to lay it on her, place it on her head.
Halt! I'll shout.
The hall is silent as your voice shouts out. Everyone stops and turns to look at you.
I will step forward. And I will call out and I say, I have my father's will in my hands, which this woman, and I point at my stepmother, which this woman has stolen and concealed from the eyes of all to see. Should we not hear what my father has to say about the succession?
The Empress Regent, the Dowager Empress, stands up. And although she's roughly your age, her voice rings out just as strongly. We do not accept fake documents here, traitor. You slayed your own father. How can you be trusted?
I did not, and I believe that we have learned men here who can recognize my father's handwriting and his style of writing. So let them judge.
Indeed.
All right, what do you have to lose?
Indeed. She turns to...
do not point at your co-conspirator who poisoned my father and who poisoned my mother. I have seen through you, Master Baudelan. You are a traitor, and you will be treated as such.
He stands up. Those are not good words to speak to your future husband.
You will not be my future husband.
Oh, you're wrong. I will be. My Empress has decreed it.
She is not Empress. She has no right to decree anything.
He takes the actual crown out of the priest's hands and lays it on her head.
You are not authorized to crown an empress.
Sound the gong. Do it. And one of the big slaves lifts the hammer to strike the actual gong.
Can somebody stop this man?
And at that point, I think, there is a high-pitched whistle. And with any luck, an arrow streaks across the hall and kills the man who's about to strike the gong.
Okay, can you roll your move, please?
Yes. I rather wish I'd done it earlier now, but never mind. I think this is about control, calculation. How many of them are still loyal? So this is +2. Oh,
there's a face of relief.
That's a 10.
Okay.
So on a 10, I have 3 holds. While the plan is being carried out, you can spend your hold regardless of distance to add +1/4 to a roll, clear a chi, or produce needed items. So the needed item I'm seeking to find here is a dead gong striker.
I'll give it. It's unorthodox, but I will give it. So there's an arrow whips out. And there's a thud and a scream as the man who lifted his arms to strike the gong, lifted back to strike the gong, an arrow enters through the armpit and punctures his lung. He falls to the ground. One of the other slaves goes to lift the huge hammer itself. Another arrow whips out. He falls. There's chaos on the stage, on the dais as this is going on. And Crystal Hammer steps in front of the Empress and pulls her behind her.
And all of the watchful peacocks, hidden balconies, and other locations around the palace all come equipped with silken rope. So I think probably what we see is plaster cracking around the room as assorted black-clad watchful peacocks abseil down into the room. And I hold, very respectfully, a length of silken rope out to Falling Blaze.
She looks at you a bit confused. What am I supposed to do with that?
Win your crown, my lady. Win your crown. And with that, I'll simply leap off the balcony.
Well, I can't hold that and my sword, so I will drop it, of course, because I have no idea what to do with it. And yeah, draw my sword and...
Oh, Mistress Secret Son, you still have 2 hold, don't you?
2 holds. I'm going to keep them for when I need another arrow.
Okay. Because one thing you can do with that is you can clear a chi on someone.
Yes. Let's have a look. Oh, so could I... Can I clear Falling Blazes wounded?
Yes, you can.
Then count it wounded. count her woundless.
Yes. How does that happen in regards to the plan?
Well, I think probably as I jump off the balcony, I hand her the end of the silken rope that she can abseil down from as well, and a small vial. And I leave her to do what she thinks is right. I think it's time I began to trust in her judgment.
I still don't know what to do with the rope because I can just jump down from the balcony.
You wanted to be a pirate queen? He's given you the chance.
Right. True. Okay. Vial. Okay, she means to poison me. She has a damn complicated way to do it.
Can you roll in a conflict, please?
Yeah. I guess I have to. And I will roll it with curiosity for once, because I really want to know. Whoa, and I've got a 12.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so this is she's given me the chance to be a pirate queen.
Sorry, that was me just saying.
No,
just give you a chance. To swing on ropes.
That's amazing, actually. Also, I could just jump down, but ropes, nice. And anyway, either I'm dead now, or I can use my arm. And right now, I want to use my arm.
You take the small vial.
Yes.
You feel a brief moment of burning and a tingling as sensation comes back into your arm.
Which is good, because now I can hold the rope and the will.
Yes. You can slide down the rope. You can swing on the rope. You can run down the rope if you want.
No, I think I will use the rope to sling across the room, and there is probably, well, okay, no one of the sagacious sages guys, but there is probably an old priest or somebody who's trusted by most people. Yes,
the priest that was actually putting the crown on the Empress, well, the
Chen Lin's
head. Yes.
Yeah, I'm swinging on my rope towards him and press the will into his hands, and then I'll address the chaos.
He stumbles. He opens it up. His eyes go wide as he reads it. People, you must see this. We have been... As a large crystal hammer smashes into him.
Okay.
Well, I think at this stage I will get the peach blossom and smear it on the end of my oar and charge in against Crystal Hammer.
Do you remember what the peach blossom, how it had to be delivered?
Straight into the mouth.
Yes, as in the blossom must be placed into the mouth and they must be made to consume it. I don't think smear it on the oar and then shoving the oar in isn't really going to work. It's more a narrative thing than that. Sorry, you muted, Paul.
Okay, then I'll need some assistance then.
Yeah. So you come down to confront Crystal Hammer. She is over the priest. She raises her melon hammer again and goes to crush his head. He holds his hand up. No, I've always been loyal. What do you do?
I will, because I know Crystal Hammer is clearly very strong with a hammer. I'm going to attempt to get in ridiculously close under the length of the hammer by being very flexible, and then try and get them in some kind of some sort of hold to then pull back their mouth and hopefully stuff this peach blossom into it.
Okay, so in order to do that, you'll need to get rid of the mask that they wear, because they do wear full body armor, including a vicious demon face mask.
I was hoping when I got them in a lock, I could just rip that back and then come in with my hand and get something in there.
Okay, so you come down, you rip off the helmet, but the mask itself is secured independently. Her long white hair flows out and falls to the ground as you rip off the helmet, as she snarls with wild, crazed eyes as she looks up at you. You reach for the mask, and her hand comes up and catches yours and pulls you down in front of her as you land on the floor in a 3-point stance as she stands up and comes to face you. No, I will crush you.
There'll be no crushing today.
That's when Secret Son will bounce into the fight, attempting to knock her to the ground. I'm thinking just using her balance against her to knock her over. So I'm hoping for overcome, not fight.
Okay. Just give me a second. I'm just going to read the overcome move. Okay. So can you roll? Yes. Okay. So can you roll overcome to actually get her to the ground and expose an opportunity for Paul to remove the mask?
Yeah. So I'm using in effect I'm using the Secret Soul balletic moves without wanting to actually harm her, just to overbalance her and hopefully create an advantage that the Admiral can exploit. So
Okay.
roll +2. 9. So close.
Okay.
7 to 9. You flinch, hesitate, or stall. The GM can offer you a worse outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice.
Could
Okay.
not an arrow, a distracting arrow, rain down from?
And then an arrow strikes the side of her armor, glancing off and throwing her off balance.
Okay.
Those are my three. The strutting peacocks have strutted their stuff enough.
Okay. If you do that, I will give you the opportunity, but it's not just one arrow. A myriad of arrows fly out of the air into her. And unfortunately, you're stood with her. So I think if you do that, the bargain is you actually mark the injured state. Paul, you're muted. Sorry, Alan, you're muted.
Yeah, sorry. I think that's quite good, actually. Yes, I will mark the wounded state. But maybe I'm even pinned to her.
Oh, that's even better.
So yes, so what I imagine then is that I've leapt at her, and then an arrow hits her, and another arrow hits her, and then as I'm reaching for the mask, another arrow hits her, but it goes through my shoulder, pinning me to her. And so I'm trying to get the mask away as she falls over under me.
And I think this is your opportunity, Paul.
Yeah, from my sort of knocked back stance, I will now rush forwards, and I'm going to use my my free hand, my oar in the other one, with the blossom in it, to rip the mask off the head of Crystal Hammer and attempt to stuff the peach orchid in whatever mouth is left of the zombie.
Okay, can you roll overcome, please?
Certainly. So as I said, I was getting nice and close, moving around her. So I will roll water, my fight move. That's a roll of 5, 6, 7.
Excellent. Okay, so yes, you're going to do this, or I'm going to offer you a choice here. You can do this, but if you do this, her mind will break. Actually, no, that's not fair. If you do this, her claws are going to lash out at you and blind the Admiral in one eye.
I get to wear a patch. I mean, nothing's better than that.
I know. Yeah, I know. As I was saying it, I realized that you're effectively a pirate with an eye patch now.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah, this raking claw. As I'm stuffing it in her mouth, she clearly knows this is probably going to be her end. So she lashes out with this clawed hand right across one side of the Admiral's face. Just as he's getting in there, he pulls back in clearly some pain as he stuffs her bottom jaw upwards.
she screams, she howls, she gulps, and the scream turns to a sigh.
And Secret Son jabs one of the arrows that's already in her deep into her chest.
She fights back. She pushes. She throws Mistress Secret Son from her. She falls to the ground. She turns. She starts clawing her way away. And I think at that point, she comes to a set of feet. She stops. And she looks up. And she sees her daughter staring down at her.
And it is my mother, right?
It is your mother. You can see the eyes have changed. The hardness, the dead aspect of them has gone.
I will bend down. Mother?
Oh, my child. My child. The light. It's so dark.
Go in peace, mother. You have suffered enough.
My child.
And I'll take her into my arms.
And her head collapses, and while her head waves, she sighs. You can see that she's crying tears. Please, I'm sorry. Know that I loved you.
I love you too, mother. Go in peace.
Her head settles on your shoulder.
I will hold her for a moment, till I feel her go.
And at that point, the tip of an iron fan rips through the back of her neck, and her head falls from her body.
Oh, good. I mean, no, not good.
And Chen Lin stands there. Her metal fans out, her weapon that she has hidden in front of everyone all this time. I despise weakness.
I have no words for you. And I will draw my swords then.
I have many words for you. Traitor. Ingrate. Usurper. Poisoner. For that is how you will be known for the rest of history.
I attack her. I don't talk to her.
And
not right now.
And this is like a balletic fight. As you come in, she glances your blows with her fans. She swings at you. It's like a back and forth. All the time she taunts you, she goads you.
I have just held my dying mother, a zombie, in my arms. I'm not really susceptible to words at that point.
And how many games can you say that in?
It's true.
And the fight goes back and forth, and eventually, you fought her back, and she's actually standing on the throne. And as you come in, she hops back from one arm to the other, and you're effectively fighting over the throne itself, in a fitting metaphor for the actual entire conflict. At one point, your blade comes in. She catches, and the weapons lock, and she's there face to face with you.
And I'll use my other blade to impale her, because I have two. The broken blade. That's kind of fitting. It was my mother's.
Okay. But before we do that, she is going to say, you have been a follower all your life. What makes you think you can lead now?
I'm not talking to her.
Okay, so can you roll can you roll duel then?
Yes. Oh wow, I have a 12.
Oh, okay. So your blade enters. Her eyes go wide.
Oh, actually I don't want to kill her.
Okay. So
I want to overcome her because I know that the Admiral has sworn something.
Okay, so
about her dying painfully and slowly.
Are you showing mercy? Well,
no, that's not mercy.
Okay.
That's not mercy. I'm not killing her, but that's no. And when she crumbles on the throne, then I will talk to her and I will say, "This is the closest you will ever get sitting on the throne. Traitor, usurper, poisoner." And then I'll look at the Admiral and say, "She's yours."
Thank you, Empress.
Not quite. You hear a clink, 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 as an elderly man stands there with his walking stick. Did you forget about me?
I never forgot about you at all, Baudelaire. You will pay as well.
I pluck the arrow from my shoulder and fling it at him.
Okay.
Don't worry, your crimes will not be forgotten, Master Baudelaire.
The arrow comes in, and the arrow comes through the air, and you can see that he reaches for his cane and draws the hidden sword within and cuts the arrow in half. Literally, he draws like this. The arrow comes in, splits, and goes either side of him to thud into the wall at the back.
Then it's on then.
I turn to him and say, "Do you really mean to fight now?"
No, I don't. I had an agreement with your father for the good of this nation. I give you that option now. Kill me and this nation will fall into chaos. I am the only thing. My friends, the sagacious blades, are the only thing that can oppose the Red Reeds. I give you an option. The same option your father gave me. Marry me. Make me your regent. Make me your prime minister. And there will be peace in this land.
He's talking too much crap. I'm just going to swing my oar
Yes.
and
Thank
attempt
you.
to decapitate him with the sharpened edge of the sword of the oar.
Okay. So your oar comes in. He steps back, and you notice that his movements are very minimal. He doesn't actually take much motion at all. We've already established his scale, haven't we?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I do have I've got a bond with him.
Okay. So he steps back. I think we said that he was on a lesser scale than you. So you will actually defeat him.
Excellent. So yeah, as I said, he steps back, but my aim is to as he steps back, instead of decapitate him, I want to slice his throat with the end of my oar.
And he collapses to his knees. He drops his blade, drops the cane.
I turn towards the Admiral and say, "Thank you."
He collapses to the ground. He reaches out his hand to the blood, and he writes something in the ground itself. 2 characters. Forever war. And he falls to the ground. His eyes roll back in his head. There's a noise, there's a sound from the far end of the hall. You turn and look, and you see a gaggle of soldiers in heavy armor there. A figure at their head. My sister. And she strides forward. My sister.
Are the northern barbarians vanquished already?
Your words touched me. I'm sorry that I have not arrived in time to help. I see you have dealt with the traitors.
Not all of them.
That is true. I see a criminal standing among us. 2, in fact.
No, I see only one, according to the will of our father. Unless you don't want to honor this.
Oh, I will honor his will. I have his will here. She reaches in and holds up a piece of paper.
Oh, you have faked his will.
Not at all. This is signed with the royal seal. And she steps forward. She looks at Mistress Secret Son, and you can see her eyes are full of concern. And she rushes over to you. Quick, get a doctor. Are you okay?
And I drive a knife between her ribs.
Okay. Can you roll overcome, please?
Again, I think it's all about control. That's 9.
Okay. So you can hurt her, but she is going to be pissed, and those who've seen this are unlikely to survive. She's likely to. If you hurt her, she will order her troops to massacre the people here, so there are no witnesses.
Hurt her. Come on.
Twist the knife.
She screams. She looks down at you. She reaches for your head and smashes it against the actual cobbles and stands up.
Our father banished you. He rescinded your title. You will go now and follow his command. Or you will see where this goes.
Our father made one mistake. He thought...
Yes, he did, but he went to rectify it by banishing you. Giving you any shred of power was too much, apparently. You slaughtered an entire castle of people who were pardoned.
He thought that power came from authority. It came from tradition. It doesn't. Power comes from power. Kill them. Kill them all.
I will step towards the throne, and now I need to impress them, right? Because this is... I will turn to her troops and I will say, have you heard her words? She does not believe in tradition. She does not believe in the rule of law. She does not believe in our father's will. She's a traitor.
Okay, can you roll, please?
Yes. Oh my God, this is going to go wrong. But I think I will roll with fire.
Okay, I think those are very passionate words.
Yeah. Come on. No, I rolled a 3. Damn. Oh God, and I've only got one bond to be better. Can anybody throw another bond at me, maybe?
I'm wondering if, yes, I'll burn my bond with the Watchful Peacocks, and the Watchful Peacocks will line up to take the princess's orders and protect the people in the throne room. So the troops will know that the Watchful Peacocks are with Falling Blaze.
That's fine, but I think in the process of you doing that, all the Watchful Peacocks you have with you will be killed.
So be it.
But ultimately, as well, on a 7+, I get to offer Sabine a hard bargain.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have enough people here to. These troops are not going to turn the tide on their own. They're not going to actually back down from the general that they've sworn their allegiance to. But there are some imperial troops you can count on. On a 7+,
where's your friendly general when you need him?
I was going to say, on a 7+, I'm going to say the Imperial Guard unit led by Sun Tiger will arrive and join the fray. But in the process, Sun Tiger will lose his life.
Oh, my poor cousin. Yeah. Well, okay. He will get a monument. We will build a monument to him.
There is a flash of gold at the back of the fighting.
But I have succeeded at my impress role, right?
That's right. Yes.
So
some of the troops turn.
Good.
So ultimately, the troop share will even out, and your troops will have the advantage. Some will join your side. Eventually, some will surrender when Sun Tiger's troops join the fray. But while this is going on, a general melee occurs. There's all sorts of weapons flying everywhere. Arrows fly out. And you can see that some of the weapons that Sundering Princess troops have brought, they carry out and they bring forth rockets. They point them at the dais and drop the lit fuses, the smouldering matches, onto the fuse. There is a as these weapons launch with burning tails towards you. And as they come in, there's a as they shatter apart before they can explode, as arrow after arrow after arrow falls into them. And a black-clad figure lands in the middle of the melee. A very familiar black-clad figure who has a nasty lump on the back of her head. It's Perfect Silk Blossom. Alive. Pissed, but hurt. But she joins the fight itself. What are people doing?
On whose side does she join the fight? Just to be clear.
She joins your side.
Very nice. I think I still have to deal with my sister at that point because we have a general melee, but I don't think she will stand there and just do nothing, right?
No, she's striding towards you. You are the biggest threat towards her.
Yeah, well, I'm standing. I know I can't win against her.
You can't win on your own.
But maybe the Admiral might help, so I will step back to see if he's
Of course.
good.
Okay.
Let's take
So
care of her.
who joins the fight first?
Oh wait, no, I have +1 forward if I'm following.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
So I will take that now.
Okay. Well, this is a narrative thing at the moment until we determine who gets to roll the dual move. So she comes forward. There is blood dripping down the side of her armor. The blade that Mistress Secret Son has jabbed between the joints still sticks there, and red blood, scarlet blood, falls to the floor.
I will offer you one chance, sister. Go to the west at peace. Accept your exile or die.
And I will offer you one chance. Run now. I always prefer a game that knows how to run.
Our running time is over. Let's finish this, dear sister.
Indeed. And her eyes go wild as she charges
She's
at you.
crazy.
And,
Okay.
as her blows strike out, she's laughing and shouting, and there's a manic glee in her eyes. A glee that you've seen elsewhere. You've seen somewhere previously.
And the boy.
Yes.
Doing.
And as this cuts, you see that same look, and you think you actually know something in this moment. This isn't an inherited trait for all of the royal family.
The bloodlust?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's give into the fire then.
You think that the boy is her son?
Oh. So it isn't an inherited.
No, it isn't an inherited.
Oh, okay. Then I will tell her that, sister, you know your son would be quite safe if you went to the west. You could take him with you.
Her eyes pause for a moment. I do not have a child.
Steel Wing is your child.
Those are dirty lies. I've killed the last person who said that.
I've seen him in battle. He is yours.
She screams out. And Paul, how do you intervene?
I will, as she steams forwards, I will attempt to flick her arm with my oar, so it doesn't come down as a blow against the princess, and to knock her off balance, hopefully allowing the princess to get the final blow in on her.
Okay. She comes in, she swings down, you parry her blow. Her sword embeds in your oar. It doesn't cleave through it. You and her tussle. She tries to pull it back off you.
Can I slide in at that moment?
Yes, if you wish to.
Yeah, sure. I'm going into a deep slide and just try to cut at her legs.
Okay. So she lets out a scream and she goes down to her knees. Ah! Witch! Traitor! Why are you trying to take what is mine? It's always been mine. She reaches for the dagger in her side, pulls it out, and as she does, there's a squirt of blood that would do any Japanese film proud. She twists the dagger and she drives it down towards the princess.
I will attempt to bring up the broken blade to halt the progress of the dagger. Get it between her and me, just barely, but the broken blade will hold.
I'd like to throw myself at the dagger tip.
Okay. So at this point, the blade comes down. It falls. It falls and it finds a heart. But it isn't the princess's heart. Alan, what do you want in here? Are you wanting to actually take the blow, or are you giving your life?
Sacrifice myself. I wanted to sacrifice my life to save Falling Blaze, just for the epilogue.
Okay, the dagger comes in and deals a mortal blow. It comes in, it pierces your heart. There's that moment of realization. Your eyes go wide. There is blood on your lips. You stumble back. Sundering Princess stops. She looks at the dagger in her hand. She looks down at the princess.
And I'll push the broken blade into her neck.
And can you roll the duel move, please? You're at equal level, you equal scale to her at this point.
Cool. Well, I have an 8.
Okay. So, your skull is okay. So you can win at a cost. You can narrate how you lost and mark XP, or you can deadlock with your opponent. You may reveal or learn something about them.
I will win at a cost. I will. I think I will be injured, because when I push the dagger into her neck, she will start to bleed out, but there is still strength left in her, and she hasn't got a blade anymore, but she will punch me quite hard, and you can hear the ribs break.
Okay. And eventually she collapses on the floor. Are you killing her, or is she having this final death scene? Or does she die outright?
She can have that final death scene. I mean,
so she's raging on the floor. She's lashing out. She's spitting. She's screaming. She's thrashing around. Her mind is broken. Her fury is all that is contained within her now.
And I will step back and I turn to the troops and say, "Is that actually what you want to follow?"
They stop. They look at what's going on there. The troops loyal to you step forward. The ones fighting for the Red Reeds stop. They take a step back. And there's a chorus of clangs as they drop their weapons and they hold their hands to the heavens. The throne room is a scene of carnage. There is blood everywhere. The court, as it is stained scarlet. Sundering Princess's cries and shouts and insults echo across a quiet chamber. Perfect Silk Blossom takes the moment and steps up to Admiral Leo Quinn. I worried so much for you. I thought that they had killed you.
We thought you were dead.
My double. My servant.
A great trick. It had me and Mistress Secret's unfilled, that's for sure.
Indeed. Well, when you entered the Emperor's chamber, it was her, not I. For at the time I had sought out the general that would stand against the northern armies, and had sought to slay him. I could not be in two places at once. There are spies everywhere.
I see your plans. I see your plans.
She leans in and lays a kiss on your lips. Your eye. Would you be okay?
A mere flesh wound.
And she rips a segment of her she takes off the black outer layers, and she's wearing the butterfly fans clothing underneath, and she rips off a segment with the butterflies on and wraps it as a temporary patch around your eye.
From now on, I will always wear a butterfly on that eye. Let it be known.
And she steps in and rests her head against your shoulder.
I will put my arm around her, steady myself with my trusty oar, and I will say, our job is nearly done, but we still must deal with Chen Lin.
And she sits there on the throne, and her breath is slight. She has very short, sharp breaths. Who's doing what with the former empress? Who says what to her?
I will suggest to the new empress that she be handed over, and she will never cause any trouble ever again. But she needs to live in pain for the rest of her years.
I will accept that judgment. I'm at that point. I'm looking at secrets. I have been looking at Secret Sun and trying to see if she's still alive or if I can do anything for her.
I think she's in the process of dying.
Then I will try to help her. Try to, put my hands on her wounds and try to tell her to be strong.
Okay, well, have the conversation.
You saved my life. Please don't die now.
And Secret Sun will look up into the young empress and say, winning your trust was the most difficult mission your father ever set me. But it was worth it.
I'm sorry I misjudged you.
You do well to trust rarely. It has been a lesson I have been happy to teach.
No. Don't. Oh, no.
She'll be avenged.
Well, she kind of is. I mean, I suppose that Sundering Princess will stop crashing at one point.
Sorry, I'm muted. Eventually, she tires. She is exhausted and she collapses. There is still a murmur coming from her, but no longer the shouts. Perfect Silk Blossom walks up to Chen Lin and looks at her as she rests on the throne. She reaches over and lifts the crown off of her and turns to Princess Falling Blaze and holds it up for her.
I think we should have a real crowning ceremony, not this chaos. We should assert tradition and proper procedure. I will not be crowned amongst all this blood that has been shed today.
You are Empress either way, whether you wear a crown or not.
Yeah.
Oh, it is so good to see you, friend. And she hugs you.
Yeah, I thought you were dead. I'm hugging her back. And I whisper in her ear, you know, I always wanted to be a pirate queen.
Now you have a navy?
I can hardly sail on a ship and sing shanties.
We could run away. She could.
Lovely idea, but somebody needs to take care of the empire.
Well, we could call that general back of yours and run to the south.
Amazing idea. I'll keep it in mind. And I wink at her.
And she turns to look at the Admiral. My lord.
I did say this was going to be my last service to the Emperor and to the Empress. So once we've dealt with the Gang of Eight, I believe this is it for me. Retirement to the south.
I have a better offer. And Perfect Silk Blossom turns to Falling Blaze. My friend, I have something to ask. Many years ago, a war took my people and my land from me. Will you return this to me? I ask this as a friend, not as the former princess, but one who has stood beside you.
And I hug her again and say, of course. Yes, somebody needs to live on this land. With you to rule it?
Not me. She turns to look at the Admiral. My husband.
I will look quite amazed and say, of course, my love. My sea legs have long gone.
Then come, my king. I don't think
with one arm round her, my other arm on my trusty oar, I will hobble out. Then
and she will say to you as the credits start to roll, I don't think anyone can call you a monkey anymore.
Thank you.
And at that point, I think we get the closing credits. The huge number of special effects and stunt crew that actually did all the work during the fights, and then it goes up and it goes the end ? And then it cuts to a battle in the north. You can see that General Zheng Hen is fighting about what looks to be the equivalent of a Mongol horde. He stops the fight and stands atop the wall and looks out over it. And there is an endless sea of horsemen pouring through the breach in the wall itself. The camera zooms in on a woman on an armored horse, a steel-clad horse. The horse itself has a bardin and a mask with 2 steel horns, just as the woman does. She removes her helmet. We're through the wall? Yes, one of her servants says. Then make for the capital. There are debts that must be paid. And it cuts to black. And that is the end of the Monkey in the Scarlet Court. Thank you. I've enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed that game.
That was great fun.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah. And an excellent ending.
So it's nice to actually play a game and actually get to wrap up everything at the end. So if people have time, we've got 10 minutes left of the game session.
Sure.
Would people be okay doing hearts and doing roses and thorns? Sorry, I'm trying to think of the best thing. So we'll start with the excuse me. We'll start with the thorns. Obviously, I realise it's coming up to 12 o'clock for you, Sabine, so we'll try and be brief.
It's totally okay.
Okay, so Alan, do you have any thorns of the game, or how it was run, or anything you prefer
No,
to
not
see or like
really.
to see?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I find games where I have a fairly abstract set of attributes to choose from. It is sometimes quite difficult to choose the ones that aren't advantageous mechanically. And because earth, fire, metal, water, wood, I know why they're there, but I get what's underneath them. But in masks where you have a similar set of descriptors, that seems easier because there's one descriptor. I reckon I can almost make anything happen with cautious focus and presence.
Yeah.
So my inclination would be to say to narrow that down, because it relies on the players playing the game, and I think it would be possible to break it if you just had a player who kept going back to the +2, the +2, the +2. So that's my only thought.
No, I'm kind of in agreement, and obviously this is a playtest document that we're playing from. This isn't by no means the final document. It hasn't, as far as I understand, it hasn't gone to final playtest yet, and hasn't gone to Kickstarter yet. So we may see changes going forward. But that's something that Lowell, the writer of the game, may find useful. Any other thorns before we go on? You muted, Alan. Oh, sorry, no more. Okay, that's fine. In which case,
no, I've had mine.
Okay, Paul, do you have any thorns from the game?
Yeah, one sort of building on what Alan said with the red attributes that should come in play when it's marked. Well, you're never going to roll it when it's marked, so they serve absolutely nothing. This is the 5th game of this I've been in, or the 5th session. They mean absolutely nothing.
No, I think this is something that's come from like I say, this is a playtest document. I don't think it's the latest one. If you look on the basic moves, it has a take a powerful blow as well, which, as far as I can tell, has been taken out of the rule set. I've never seen it be used.
Okay.
So, like I say, I think these are just artifacts from previous design, because the game was based on, in a lot of ways, on masks. From what I can see of it and some of the moves, and I think that's a holdover from the conditions that you get in masks.
Okay, and the only other thing, the trickster's main move doesn't seem to really do anything. It's never came up that would be of any advantageous if you have it over just normally rolling hearts and minds. We've used hearts and minds quite a bit in this game, and I can't see how my trickster move would be an advantage.
Normally, you can only roll hearts and minds when there's a legitimate reason for it. With the trickster move, you can say virtually anything. So if you're wandering through the Forbidden City in a just in a loincloth in the middle of the Imperial coronation, you as a peasant, with the trickster, you could say, "Well, I'm Lord So and So. I've just been attacked and had all my clothes stolen. Please take me to whoever so I can enlist their help." And you can roll it, even though that would be
okay. Yeah, probably more as a sort of an offensive heart and minds. I can see that.
Yeah.
Normally, sort of hearts and minds is normally rolled sort of defensively, as in you look through moves and it's the most appropriate move, hearts and minds. But yeah, if you use defensively, I can see that.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Was there anything else you wanted to raise?
No, that's fine. Thanks.
Okay. And Sabine, do you have any thorns?
Yeah, well, I will echo the whole thing with the red comments on the attributes. Also, I'm not as skeptical as Alun that you would always use your best, because if the dice are against you, you have to mark them. And if you always use +2 and you've marked both of them, that's not really good. So you would go to a less high attribute for roles that aren't that important, for roles you can fail. So I think all in all, that works pretty fine for me. Gurren, I loved your descriptions, but sometimes I thought you might leave some of the description authority to the players.
Okay.
Because you described some stuff where I would have wanted some more agency, okay?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll take that under regards for future. Was there anything?
I was just saying it. You describe very well. It was a joy to listen to you, but sometimes I wanted to do something, and then you were at some point in the future, and I thought, okay, it's fine that way.
Okay. Well, if in future anything like that comes up, please feel free to stop me. I tend to roll on, and ultimately this is a narrative game. Although I may say the actions of characters, at least more than half of the actual storytelling and the descriptions here come from the players. So please, if it ever gets to that point again in future, please feel free to say something like, actually, I have an idea, and I'll always cede the floor to the players when that happens.
Yeah, but you were talking so beautifully.
Thank you. Any other thorns?
Nope. That's
okay. To me, I was always trying to find ways to get characters involved, and with the entanglements and the game as it is, it felt very hard to bring some of them into the game itself. Certainly, one of the things the game does is set up a lot of interpersonal relationships between people, and as the game grows larger and larger, it's very hard to make them all meaningful, if that makes sense. Certainly, as more and more players added, I don't think this system can actually support necessarily 5 or 6 players at the same time, because at that point, it's just so many relationships. It's just so hard for the person running it to actually keep track of what's going on there.
I mean, I think the approach you took, where you asked us to focus in each session on which relationship, I think that is sensible, because I think you're right. I think you could have a vast number of NPC relationships that could roll on and on. So I think that's quite tough.
But that said, I've really enjoyed the sessions. I've enjoyed the story that we've told. I've loved to see where it's gone, and I'm going to go now and actually do the roses. Alan, do you have any roses?
Yeah, I mean, your description is very filmic, and it's potent to listen to it, and I guess because it's not a genre I'm particularly familiar with, that's quite helpful to me, because I struggle with some of that description, but I see what Sabine means. What other? Well, the relationship with Falling Blaze has been a delight. It's just been so much fun to play. No matter what this woman did, she could not convince her that she was trustworthy until she died, and that just felt just spot on. So I love that, and the kind of laconic Admiral. Yeah, okay, I'll hit him with the oar. Okay. Which I noticed as time got on, got sharper.
Of course, it's cleaving through all that bone. It gets sharper naturally.
It allows it to cut through the water easier. Alan, do you have any more roses you'd like to give?
No, those, it's always great fun to play with Sabine, and Paul and I know each other, in the real world, so it's always good to play with him, and it's always nice to play with a Welshman.
Thank you. Paul, do you have any roses?
Yeah, I like the sort of individual styles that was, brought to the table. There was a lot of difference between every single character, and that sort of bore out through the play, and also in the NPCs. And while at times I did struggle with names, and I was quite confused at various times with, somebody I thought was dead then reappearing. It made it an enjoyable adventure. That's for sure. Yeah, and it was definitely cinematic. Thank you.
You're welcome. Sabine, do you have any roses?
Sure I do. I mean, it's always fun playing with Alun, and I immensely enjoyed the whole secret son is evil thing because, I mean, I said it. She was probably lurking in the shadows, and then she steps out. I love that. And the Admiral, he was just so rock solid. I loved him with his oar all the time. With his oar, that was amazing. And as much as I said before, but your descriptions, they were amazing. They were melodramatic. They were cinematic, and you could almost feel that you were standing, sitting in a cinema and watching this amazing wuxia film on the screen. That was lovely.
Well, thank you very much. I have to say I've enjoyed playing with each and every single one of you. The different styles you brought to the characters added so much to the game itself. Everyone had their own distinct ideas, and they played them to the hilt, very much so. And yes, I loved all of that. I'm a huge fan of the system. Well, I'm a huge fan of where the system could go. There are some changes I think need to be made, but I'm confident that Lowell will get this tightened up and get it all worked out. And I'm looking forward to this being taken to Kickstarter. Yeah, I've had a great deal of fun. I don't know if many people know, but I suffer quite bad anxiety before games. So when I run games, I tend to put off doing anything for it to the last minute because I'm really gripped by a really bad anxiety. I've not really had that for these. After that first session, I've been coming into these sessions. I've wanted to be here. I've been focused on the sessions, and these have been some of the most fun I've had in a long time. So thank you. And I think that's all down to all of you. So thank you very much.
Thank you for running it, Karen.
Yeah.
It was amazing to see Wulin going into the court, into this courtly melodrama. It was fun. And I got to be Empress.
You got to be Empress. The Admiral got to be King. The General got to be Emperor. And Mistress Secret Son got to be dead.
Secret Son got to be a heroine. That's high praise.
I'll take the eye patch over the King any day.
Secret Son will at least get a shrine.
If there is an after titles cutscene, it is probably of Leyland moving the body away.
And I think stopping to actually look down at the body of Master Baudeling at one of his pouches of potions there, and then it cuts.
Yeah, I quite fancy.
So
yeah, I quite fancy coming back as a white-haired zombie spy mistress. Never mind.
Brilliant. So with that said, I'm going to end the broadcast now. And